fake deep thinking, just a group of guys talking about the world. Today we have with us John.
What's up?
Doc.
Yo.
And myself, Eugene. I'm not gonna lie, I almost said bullshit. We just got done talking about it, and I almost messed up.
This group of guys talking about a bunch of bullshit.
And first story is a bunch of freaking bullshit, honestly. Because we're gonna talk about first Tariq Nasheed.
I don't even think that's his real name.
I don't think so.
That name sounds too black to me.
What?
I can say this. This name sounds too black. That name, Tariq Nasheed? Oh, no, my guy. That sounds like one of them Whoopi Goldberg type names. The actor names? That's not her real name.
Whoopi Goldberg's not her real name?
Nope.
No?
I did not realize.
I
was just
actually
giving
did
you
not
guys
know that.
information.
Yeah,
Okay,
I did not know that.
Yep.
Wow.
Do it that
Took
way
an interesting turn
you want.
right there. That was an interesting turn. Okay.
Yep.
Well, go for it, Doc.
Damn, that really blew Doc.
Yeah, because I was like,
looking at his face.
it makes sense because I was wondering like what family was like. We're gonna name her Whoopi. You know what I mean? I was like, what? Like, but I
You know
just
what's
figured.
funny?
I
think the
don't know, maybe it
Whoopi
was
part
cultural or
actually is her
something.
name, and the Goldberg part is the thing.
I don't know.
I know Goldberg's
You know
not
what?
her
Now
name.
hold on, real quick. I'm curious now.
There's a lot of black actors and actors who do it.
I'm curious now. Let me look up Whoopi Goldberg's real name. I'm genuinely curious. Karen Elaine John. How do you say that? Is that right? Karen.
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 Karen. She's
Elaine
a Karen.
Johnson.
She's a Karen.
She's a
That
Karen.
explains a lot.
All right, there you go. Boom. Let's go back. Let's get back on track.
So she wait. I'm curious about the story now. She changed it herself, or
Yes.
somebody changed it for her?
No, she changed her name to act. There's a lot of black actors who do this because they were trying to get in the door.
Why'd she pick Whoopi?
I don't know. It's the Goldberg for me. She just went straight racist. Like
Actually, I feel like she was like
Jew.
she was like at the store and she saw like a Whoopi cushion and a Goldberg action figure and was just like Whoopi Goldberg.
That's it.
That's it.
Dude,
That's
if
right.
I really hope that's it, because that's actually a crazy like coincidence to come up with a very like iconic name.
The Whoopi
Everyone
Goldberg.
knows who Whoopi Goldberg is.
Everybody knows who Whoopi Goldberg is. And we can't even name 3 good movies.
There's one in my head, but I can't think of the name.
Sister Act.
No,
maybe.
not Sister Act, but that is.
Color Purple.
That's not the one I'm thinking of either. It's a basketball one.
What? She's in a basketball movie?
Yeah.
She was in a basketball movie.
Yes.
Well, she shows up in
She
Space Jam, doesn't she?
You want to call that a Whoopi Goldberg movie, my
I was
boy?
about to say.
It's not a Whoopi Goldberg movie, but she shows up and I think she does like a free throw.
I don't know. I don't think.
Oh, no, that's
what's
that's
his
Bill
face?
Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray. There you go.
That's Bill Murray.
Wow. Whoopi.
She's in that
Crazy.
movie though, isn't she?
But I don't think so.
She's the Goblin in Ghostbusters.
All right, you know what?
No, I was just playing. I just made that up.
All right.
I just remember her in
Let's get off
Ghost.
Whoopi Goldberg, all right? We're talking about Tariq Nasheed. Okay,
No,
this
we're
guy,
talking about a bunch of bullshit.
So this guy went to a Holiday Inn and proceeded to record his reaction with this employee at Holiday Inn, and it was bad. So I'm going to play the clip real quick, and then we're going to react.
Because you all made a mistake. So you want to get mad and hit the computer because you made a mistake? Because your company made a mistake? You want to take it out on me? So why did you get mad and hit the computer? Why did you get mad and hit the computer?
Oh,
He's got that like I'm just an innocent liberal hairstyle. What? What?
So this is the type of people they have working here.
no, he does have a point with that. I'm sorry. But he's breaking. Oh, this is breaking my heart.
Yeah, I don't know
ain't
if you
gonna
can
lie.
hear it, Doc, but you can hear his voice kind of cracking a little bit. Like he's having a breakdown right now.
Oh, my goodness.
And so Tariq did this?
Yeah, this Tariq behind the footage right now recording all this. And then he goes around the corner to get a better angle to record this man's breakdown.
Also, they're playing. Really
Why would he
calm
post
jazz
this?
music.
Yeah, this man's evil in my opinion. He's pure evil.
Fucking wicked.
So that's pretty much the clip.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. That was my first time watching the video all the way through. Like, man, there is a special place in hell for this dude.
What was his response? What were people's responses to this man?
They
doing this?
went
Like,
crazy on the guy.
Here, we'll
Everything
scroll
I've
down.
seen, yeah.
I'm actually on his Twitter feed. So
Everybody's been
so-
on his ass.
So the quartering made a GoFundMe to get this harassed employees some money, and let's scroll down a little bit more. It's just about the donation thing. This needs to be removed. He could be on the spectrum. He's actually apparently he has bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, so he actually has some mental issues.
How did they figure that out?
Apparently they found him on Reddit.
No, the guy replied. He came out and said he spoke like he
Yeah.
replied to people. He said, "This is me."
I'm so
You are a
Like-
sick and twisted monster for posting this. And then he replies, "Stop projecting your anti-black racism." Like,
Wait, hold
this-
on.
What?
That's a double negative.
yeah, John's right.
Racism is a negative by itself.
So he says
You're
anti-black,
anti-black
and then adds
racism?
racism as a
So
double.
he's, so
yeah.
he's white racist.
Dude, I'm not
No,
trying
he's
to.
basically saying that he's racist.
Yeah, no, but that's not what he's actually saying. Like the words, I know what he means, but anti-black is against black, right?
Then he says racism.
Against black racism. That's what the sentence reads.
Stop projecting your anti-black racism. What's anti-black racism?
What do you
White
mean?
racism?
That's what I'm
Well, 'cause
saying.
you have the anti-black and then you have racism, and so you're like pairing them together.
I don't want to
so-
read too much into this guy's mind. He's
I'm saying
clearly
he's
an evil
stupid.
idiot.
Yeah,
No,
he's
yeah,
a
he's
very-
he's-
yeah, like he's just dumb. Look, I mean, look at his bio.
I actually think he's just racist.
He says right
Like,
here at the
literally.
end, he's a #1 race baiter. I bait racists and expose him. This dude is only doing this for clout. He's evil, bro.
It should say I entrap people. Regular people. No, I entrap disabled people.
And then look at the headline. Look at how he headlines this. A white Holiday Inn Express worker
That's what I'm saying. He's
has
racist.
a nervous
Like,
breakdown after he got scolded by a black customer because of a mistake in the reservation system. Why did he like?
he
For what?
hides behind the.
Man, show this nigga
the
profile picture.
He hides behind the defense of being black and just calls everyone else a racist. Even
Come
though
on,
he is
son.
a racist.
Come on, son. Come on, son. We not finna start. His suit too big. His watch too big. His button, his shirt, everything about this man. This is the face of the man that was behind it. Come on, man.
He actually looks like a small man.
Dog.
Go
He
back to the
has
video. Let's see where the
no
level's at.
friends.
Well, here, I'll just look him up. I'm sure that
Every
I'm just fucking with it. I really care.
I don't
Every-
care either. Honestly, I'm curious. I don't care. I'm just curious.
anybody I've seen with a blue check that's posted on this has called him like fucking coward and like they've been on his bumper. Like I have not seen this like
Yeah, I don't understand what he was expecting
Good.
to be here. If he was expecting to go viral, and
but that shows his lack of like his lack of awareness.
Oh, apparently. Oh no, that's someone else. Oh, I
he's
guess
in Los Angeles.
He's
Like,
a
what the-
baiter.
I don't know. This dude. I don't really have anything productive conversation. I just
I
think he's
think-
evil.
I-
I have nothing past that.
And
He's
in
evil.
fact, he said he's the best baiter.
Is that what
Would
he said?
somebody call him a master?
Baiter? Yeah.
He's a master baiter.
I,
If he's the #1, right?
I guess.
Well, this kind of reminds me of what the guy from Borat does.
Yes.
What's his name?
Sacha
Something-
Baron Cohen.
Yeah, that guy. Like he basically sets people up for situations like this, and then he kind of makes movies off of them and stuff
then,
like that.
And then the people are all trying to help him. All of them.
Yeah, that's one of the crazy things because he entraps them in a lot of ways. Like he basically like preys on their kindness until he exposes their racism or something like that, and then kind of goes into it. But like if you watch the whole video, sometimes you just watch it and you're like, dude, you're antagonizing them to get the reaction that you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's evil.
Then you're in charge of editing. You're in charge of all that. Man, come on, get the fuck out of here, son.
Yeah. I think you said it, maybe or misheard you, but like, what made him think this was a good idea?
Yeah,
like,
exactly what I
what
said.
was the thought process that was like, this is a good idea of
He
me
was chasing
to post this
clout
online,
via
and it's going to be
black
received well. Like, what?
Anti. He wants to be. And see, the real thing is what he's saying is, I want to be the voice of black people. I want da 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 da. No. At what cost? He showed us at what cost. You would exacerbate a situation and try and paint it in a whole different light. That's how bad you want.
So let me
what you
give
want.
y'all some information, apparently, that this guy has said, if this changes the situation or not to y'all. So apparently he was drunk on the job at the time. So I basically went viral because of my schizoaffective disorder, documented by a rude customer at an establishment which I was employed. I don't know what to do. I actually am drunk still and drove 30 minutes to my workplace drunk. I'm still drunk and I drove drunk. Why would I do that? Why is this happening to me? Why can't people have basic human kindness and compassion for someone obviously not sound? So I don't know if this is him admitting to being drunk at the job at the time or after the fact, realizing what's going on and the viralness of it. He's on his way to a job or from a job and got drunk trying to...
Oh.
Yeah,
No,
that's my question.
He said, I don't know, I actually am drunk still and drove 30 minutes to my workplace drunk. So he was drunk. He's trying to say he was drunk at the moment, but it's not beneficial for him to say, so I feel like he's being honest.
And then I don't want to give up.
Also, he's fired already.
I have to live. I think he said he quit. I don't think he was fired. I think he quit.
I think he doesn't know how to react to the situation
at
too.
all.
Like he probably he's probably being on like in his mind on the side that he thinks is righteous in the situation, and then all of a sudden it's kind of been thrown in his face by somebody who's
calling
taking
me
advantage
a
of the
faggot
situation.
for taking his money, which is my job, as well as threatening my job security. While the depiction is correct because I am a giant homosexual, that I was done. Right before he started his recording, I told him I have mental illness. I need a moment to think before he just kept going and going and going before it became too much. Yes, I have BPD and schizoactive tendencies. This is not one of my best moments. Mental illness is real and it literally can destroy lives. All I wanted to do was help them, which I couldn't because at the point my hands were tied. But if they pressure me and try to argue with me, I don't know how to handle it usually. And I'll tell you this too. This isn't even an excuse.
But it's was it a Holiday Inn or a
Holiday Inn, Holiday whatever. Yeah.
But a person behind, like, what? How badly do you hate your own life that you have to take out your life frustrations on a back counter employee at a hotel?
And this
actually, this man's evil, dude.
No, he's dead ass evil. But I'll tell you something too, and I'm not excusing anything to the guy because I've said how I feel about the guy. Black people don't take mental illness seriously.
What do you mean?
We're not taught to. We just don't. We take it as a form of weakness. So this guy literally had no empathy. I'm agreeing that he's evil. But I'm also saying black people don't take until recently, we have not taken we've never see a therapist. You know how black people feel about therapy?
I'm assuming what you just said.
Yeah,
weak.
like it's
a sign of weakness.
Well, what are you going to therapy for? Are you crazy? Those are the kids, like, if you were mentally, it's just how they grow up. How we grew up is just not, but I'm aware but somebody didn't have to show me that it existed for me to understand that it wasn't right to make fun of. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, in my household, in my growing up friends, not one time have we ever dealt with or talked about mental illness in a serious, not even the black schools I went to, never. And they took all the special kids, they put them to the side, and like that was it. So I don't get recording it. I don't get his reaction.
I mean, it's anecdotal, but for us too, we were kind of exposed to it young. I remember in 5th grade, we actually had the special needs class next to our class, and they would actually come learn with us sometimes.
I used to go help the special needs teachers. Like I forgot what class it was that I had, but I had to go help them for, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember and sometimes it can be difficult. I feel Tyler had a mental disorder.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just not, he did not have a clear thought in his head recording this. He literally thought he was posting something that was going to make him look good, and that guy looked racist.
Arrogance.
And he watched the video before he posted it again.
He's still defending it to this day. If I go back to his Twitter feed and look to his most recent tweet, like he's still, let me go.
But that's what he wants. He wants to be the black Lori, what's her name? Lori Cohen?
The white girl, right?
Tommy Lauren.
Tommy Lauren, there you go.
Tommy Lauren.
Where is it? I'm talking about Rudy Giuliani right here. I saw something recently. The world is starting to view anti-black racism as a crime against. What is that? What is that term? Anti-black racism. That's the second time we saw it. Not from him, from someone else.
I know. Go for it.
The world is starting to view anti-black racism as a crime against humanity, except the leaders of the country perpetuating it, who instead condemns protesters. What?
This type of guy who will say something.
Read it again?
Oh, you went. My
go
bad.
back to it. Yeah,
I'm going. My bad. Right here. Boom. Right here. And then here's someone else, I guess, defending, or maybe, I don't know. Let's read it first.
Yeah, I
The
guess you don't have
people-
to put anti in front of it. You can just put black racism.
Yeah.
Because essentially it's just
Yeah.
racism against black people.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Doc.
Yeah.
Thank you.
People always so mad at Tariq. He posted a clip of a guy having a nervous breakdown. I've seen 100 million clips online of guys having mental breakdowns. Online outrage is usually targeted, not real. If someone else would have posted the same clip, no one would blink an eye. That's bullshit.
That's 100% bullshit.
Are you forgetting the fact that he purposefully antagonized the situation, recorded the situation knowing that this guy's having a breakdown, and then proceeded to upload the clip after knowingly recording the guy having a breakdown? There's
Do
clear
you know
malice
that-
in this.
do you know
if it
what-
was just a random clip of someone having a breakdown, first,
It's
I'd still be
still-
mad 'cause you
yeah,
don't need to
you
post
don't
it.
need to post
But
it.
there's more malice. Like, this guy, dude, people in this world are here. People exist in this world, dude. Wow.
The caption. The funny thing is, not even the caption or anything. We watched the video for yourself. The guy starts hitting himself. When he starts hitting himself, everybody should come to the same realization at that moment. He's like, at that point where you self-harm, it's not about you.
Hold on. My
Yeah, I
apologies. I
understand that.
mistakenly thought it was you who actually taped it. So did he not tape this, or did he just share it? Because
Yeah, I don't understand that either. What a fucking
what this
evasive
guy?
bastard,
What?
bro.
Yeah, this guy. I'm sorry. He's still evil in my opinion. After that.
Yeah,
So
dude,
apparently,
he's just
apparently he
pushing
wasn't the
an
guy in the
agenda.
video recording. Apparently he wasn't the guy in the video recording. Apparently, from we're now doing a little
No,
bit of
yeah,
deeper
he didn't.
investigation. Apparently he wasn't the guy, but he still actively chose to record this, and now he's trying to defend it. Oh.
It's not even that though. He's just like, I didn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I said.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, dude. I'm like,
I'm
man,
technically, but it's like
I just showed you a video and hinted at something. You interpreted.
it's like you asking me and Doc if you have something missing and it's just us three here. Oh, did one of you take it? And I'm like, no.
It's kind of annoying.
You're
Dude,
like, John,
this is pushing
did
back
you
to the thing
take
I was
it?
saying earlier.
I didn't say I did. What the like,
Yeah.
dude, man.
This is also pushing to the thing I was saying earlier about the whole what Chelsea Gabbard said about racialism, but it's really just racism. Because it's like at this point, like, what are we gonna do? Like, if me and John are ever sitting at a table, they're just be like, "Would you look at that? A black man and a lighter skinned man sitting at a table together. Isn't that nice?" Like, I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Like, what are you talking to me? That's racist.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Like, we're just having dinner or something like that. Like, we can't just do that shit without people like looking at the image of the colors first. Like,
Gene, if you scroll, of course you're gonna find people that support him. There are people that support Derek Jackson. There are people that support terrorists, Gene. Like, you scroll long enough, you're gonna find people. This is the internet.
No, I scrolled because I just wanted to get more information. Like, because I guess I was one of the ignorant people who thought he was the guy behind it. He actually did the recording. Because he hasn't really come out and said he wasn't the guy. He's just been defending the clip this whole time.
Mhm.
But then from us doing the scrolling, we found out he wasn't. It's kind of like, okay,
Was it that Garrett guy?
I don't know.
nah, bro, that guy's just fucking. He's just cultivating. He's like, dance, puppets, dance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
watch.
dude, it's
clout.
evil,
For
bro.
clout.
Yeah.
I still stand by my comment. This man's
100%.
evil.
100%.
Dude, what a weird way to monetize yourself and make money in this world. I
It just-
just
Look at his taste.
all right.
I'm not gonna start.
Let's talk about something a little bit different. I'm sorry, my blood's boiling a little bit. Let's talk about some aliens.
Put some fear.
Honestly speaking, this is a good segue because only an alien could have recorded that and thought that, you know what? I'm gonna come out looking good in this. Like, he
This
obviously
is-
didn't understand the social concept.
This is how humans interact with one another.
This is how humans. I've always heard somebody starts yelling, you pull out your phone. Huh.
So, the Pentagon, so I can read this properly. Pentagon confirms pyramid-shaped UFO video footage is authentic, and we got the footage right here, and we're gonna watch it real quick.
I find it interesting that the Pentagon was just like, you know what? Let's just stop lying this year.
Dude, they've released a lot of clips, dude. It's the past 2 years, bro.
Like, yeah, you know what? Oh my goodness.
Look at that thing.
It's kind of cool.
Oh, it's cool, but also freaking
The-
terrifying.
I would
Well,
give up my
the-
life if I saw something like that in person.
The weird thing about it too is that like so it is a UFO but it's also a UFO by technicality because they don't know if that's like a man-made object
That's
or if
true.
that's something just wild.
It's a
from
UAP.
space.
They just said that the footage of the UAP is authentic. We don't know if the actual UAP is of alien origin or not. We just know that.
What does that mean? Unknown airborne
But
what the
if
fuck
the
does that mean?
footage is authenticated, what do we have that can move like that? A kite? That's the only thing I've ever seen move like that. A kite.
I think that's why they're scared though, because it's just like, is that an enemy fucking nation or is that an enemy?
And then the fact that it's
base?
pyramid shaped, dude, we got a lot of research to do on ourselves, man. Man, like I've always said, my biggest fear is these aliens go straight from space into our water. And then we're really just like, what have we been doing?
Like they
I
got
mean,
a base down
Like
there.
they got
It
bases
makes
underwater.
sense to me though.
Like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
like they have bases underwater just in places that
It would
we
be a little
just-
terrifying because
A little.
It would-
Yeah,
what's that
let's
one-
try bumping that up a little bit.
because I mean like
Huh,
me personally, if they're in the water, like
it's over.
yeah, exactly. Like what would I be scared for? It's already over. Like what am I gonna waste this energy like freaking
Gee,
out for?
I
Like it's done.
visually, let me explain this to you. This is where I stand with aliens. If they exist, I will scoop my eyes out of my head because I sincerely do not want to. So it's like
Nah,
I don't
at
wanna
least- maybe
see
that's
them.
my fucked up part. I
I
at least want to
don't
see.
wanna see them.
I at least
like
want to see.
that's so when you're saying why the fear, I don't want any interaction. That's why, Gene.
John's gonna do it and be like, John, they're
Nope,
beautiful
that's
women.
it. Nope,
What?
that's it. That's
No,
it.
I don't even know
No,
if John would do that either. John's not influenced by women like that.
No, for what? For what? Alien women? Oh, scoop
No,
faster.
what?
Yeah.
No, oh, mm-mm.
My brother actually said he's down. I was like, what?
Fuck
Wait,
you.
for alien
Sorry,
women or
I'm
for
sorry.
aliens in
I
general?
had to get that off my chest.
For alien women?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want some tail? Literally.
Dude, no.
Oh, what if they're not primate descendants and they're insect like
Ew.
what?
Instead of humanoid, they're insectoid or whatever the word is.
like, oh,
So
Ugh.
Starship Troopers have become a real thing. Gotta
I mean,
fight
if
the
it-
bugs.
I mean, if their skin's just a different color, then I'd probably think about it. But like,
can't
if
do
it's-
it. I can't
if
do
it's
it.
Yeah, I'm
like
not
really,
gonna
really
lie.
If I
different,
find out them bitches got
like-
7 toes, it's too much. You hear me? It's too much. I'm trying to tell you.
Instead of
I
breathing out
barely
their-
like the bitches on this earth. Like, oh my God, what do they got telekinetic?
Fat.
like I could, I
ain't no
would
telling what's gonna
probably-
happen. What is their climax? How do I know teeth don't pop out?
Oh,
like
God.
y'all boys
that's
playing with fire. Okay, I'm gonna keep my eyes. No, never mind. I need to see this.
For example, cats.
Mhm.
Male
Yes,
cat
with the
penises
spiky dicks.
are spiked.
Oh, them
Well,
motherfuckers
I mean,
be in pain.
I would
Ah!
ask that question probably.
That's why they go in
No,
heat.
Doc.
That's why they go in heat like that because
Doc,
they have
speak.
to. Yeah, Doc, go for it. Speak.
No, Doc, speak. I think his mic.
I would
Okay.
I would ask like I don't know. I would ask about the biology of like that whole situation
Oh,
before going
Doc.
into it. But like, okay, so
Doc, you're going down a rabbit hole,
if-
bro. Fake.
if they're like Mystique from
I'm
the
glad I
X-Men
brought
movies,
this up.
Like, would you give it some thought there? Because I'd probably be like,
I would not fuck Mystique, dude. I'm gonna tell you that right now. No.
the blue.
Mystique-
And you would.
Mystique.
While
I
she's
wouldn't
in
care
her
about that.
Mystique form,
Mystique
like
has-
no, I'm sorry.
No, I wouldn't even fuck her out the form, Gene. She has.
You're not wrong,
She
dude.
has scales.
She'd have to
on
deceive
her
me.
body.
I don't know,
She
maybe,
has
but if I know, you're
scales
right. I couldn't
on
do
her
it.
body.
No, you're
that
right.
Flip
Yes.
when she changes.
Yes.
The scales move.
Yeah.
As if a tidal wave was on her body.
I
No,
couldn't
thank
do
you.
it, yeah.
You like fucking chameleons?
Doc, do you have a fetish we haven't talked about?
I don't know if it's a fetish.
What if they're
or I
lizard
just-
people?
like,
Would you fuck a lizard woman?
I'm gonna treat the
Where's
situation
the limit?
individually, so I won't know until I get there.
You know what?
but
Our
for sure-
playthrough in Divinity makes more sense now.
Yeah, that is true.
Is that why I'm the only one that in our video game married an
With a
alien
child?
race?
And had a dragon childling, a
Yeah.
dragonling.
I was the only one who was like, yeah, I'll go after the lizard girl.
Yeah, I'd hit it.
We got off track real hard.
I mean, we're talking about aliens, dude, but I do think it's interesting that they're shaped like pyramids. I do think we should look at.
I think we might see aliens in our lifetime.
I do think that too, and I also think I don't know. I think, like I said, whatever ship we see, we need to analyze the shape of the ship and see the shapes that we have existing on Earth.
Power shapes, bro.
It's not a triangle. Well,
We
you
have
could argue
pyramids.
they're triangles. The pyramid, but I mean aircraft.
And the pyramids don't make sense. Still, till today, we don't understand how they did what they did. So it's just like weird to me that it would be shaped like a pyramid. Is that an effective way to see, like, okay, if you've been here before, is that where you landed? Like, is that what influence, if any? Like, I immediately, if I see aliens coming here and they're coming back and forth and they're like not interacting with us, what influence have you had on our like, I need to know. That's what I'm trying to hunt for. What influences have we skipped over and things that we didn't understand why they're this
I mean,
way.
we can go really, really deep. Just jump into it and go to the Christianity with Jesus.
100%.
There's some drawings that
Aliens.
depict,
100%.
a flying ship in the sky and then them doing a beam into Mary, and it looks like an alien.
The first battle, I believe, that was depicted was a hand carved German something, and it was BC, and it actually showed a great battle, and UFOs were involved in the battle, and it looked like angels coming from the UFOs, and it wiped the whole town clear. And I think it's the oldest piece of carved art. Well, the first battle I know that's ever been depicted. It's crazy, like, yeah, dude. But hey, man, I'm cool with some of this ignorance, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So this is kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. So let's keep it down. So I recently rewatched Avatar, and when they went to Pandora, they actually created the Na'vi avatars, right? And they projected their personality or whatever, or not personality, their consciousness, I guess, whatever, into the Na'vi avatar.
True.
What makes you think aliens can't do that now? Like, instead of actually physically interacting with us, they just
Project.
well, not
In
not
another
proje- I know what you're trying to
sense,
say,
yeah.
but not project, but cultivate. Not well, cultivate, but that's not the word I'm trying to look for. It's the lab where they
Harvest.
inseminate, kind of harvest, I guess, like their own little human,
yeah.
and then they have the technology to put their consciousness or their whatever into that thing. It's like, okay, we're as aliens interacting with humans as humans
Do you
through
know
an
why
avatar.
I would 100%
What makes you
pretty
think
cool.
What makes you think they can't do that? Like,
But you know why I 100% agree with you? Like, that being a possibility? I can only speak for me. Being a human seems like the most... I feel like a one-man spaceship, craft. Like, being human is like, you're a guy, you have limbs and all this shit, but you feel like there's like a small person running your fucking body. Like, at all times. That's how I sincerely feel. Like, other than my consciousness, what am I sincerely
I'm fighting my
attached
body
to?
for control.
And then if you look at the human body, its makeup, it's almost so goddamn mechanical. Like,
Very.
the brain, the heart, you just need this, you need this, you need this. I don't
Some
see
engineering
a
to
reason why.
it.
Exactly. I don't see a reason why it couldn't, especially the way our brains are made. Just how it's connected. Like, everything just seems like you could download some shit into us. I'm not gonna lie to you. Seems like if you made the right plug
Or upload
us
some
fucking,
shit.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I agree. But also, nothing matters. All of this proves nothing matters, Gene. Even the shit we were talking about, racism don't matter. Nigga, fuck niggas. Gene, I said it. Fuck niggas. Why? Because aliens exist, Gene. None of this shit matters. The president don't matter. Nobody matters. What matters is, if these motherfuckers come and decide to talk to us, please don't pick Elon Musk. Please do not pick Elon Musk to represent us.
Then who?
Because that's how it's going to end up.
Then who?
Because this nigga be popping his shit on Twitter, and I know the aliens done seen it, and like, seems like an interesting guy.
Man,
No.
everyone's been popping it on Twitter.
No.
Everyone's got something deep within the vault
Please
of Twitter.
don't let it be Elon Musk. Please don't let it be Elon Musk.
Speaking of like aliens and stuff like that, like I've read a lot of like sci-fi books, and in the sci-fi books they do like the whole hive mind stuff. If Twitter is a fucking glimpse into
God
the hive mind,
forbid.
I don't want it, dude.
God forbid
dude,
the alien
you're
species
right.
has a hive
I don't
mind.
need to be connected to everybody like that. Like, fuck that shit.
Here, to piggyback off that thought, honestly, and this is kind of sidetracking a little bit off the alien topic, is I really feel like right now in our society or in the world, right now we're having a huge clash between I don't want to say a hive mind mentality, but like a community mentality against an individual mentality. I feel like that's honestly the root of it. People who have an individual mindset, like it's all about the individual. If you pick yourself up by your bootstraps or whatever the blah 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 is, you can do this. And the other side of the argument is no, together this, together that, together this for the better of the
But
people
no.
kind of thing.
To add to what you're saying, the togetherness is, so I've always had this theory that what we actually lack is compassion and well, I guess just general understanding. So really what it is the togetherness is not real. It's, I want you guys to come together to show me compassion is the actual sentiment. There's no like,
Or come together under my banner.
yeah, there's no real unity for anything, but it's come together for my cause, whatever I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
my cause to be. So I just don't see, but it's not, I said compassion, consideration, boom. And I don't think we'll really ever really show each other real consideration. I don't see how we move to a point where we show each other genuine consideration. It seems like people are trying to learn, but you don't learn on yourself. Don't say, any guy who's like, you know what, we all deserve this, but let's start with me. It's a hard conversation. It's a weird conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like real consideration will only come if maybe aliens pop their shit. Maybe it's time. Maybe they see all the shit we're going through morally, socially, or whatever, and they're like, you know, let's just shoot a couple guns at them, and you know what I'm saying?
Let's give them a different enemy other themselves.
Yeah, we ain't goddamn skedaddle.
Let's be honest. If they reveal themselves, there are going to be some of us that actually want to fight
We should already be panicking. This ain't the first time we've had this conversation or the second time we've had this conversation on this goddamn podcast.
About some kind of footage. This is a different footage that they've
and
released.
Yet, tomorrow comes. I go
and
to
we
work.
Forget.
I order
we don't
grits,
forget, but we just
order
don't acknowledge
shrimp and grits in the morning. I try
Bacon
and get
and
a
eggs.
smoothie, and I go log in and work from my fucking computer as
Pocket
if
time.
the day before.
We didn't talk about aliens.
Now what? Now who's really tripping?
Because we are the men in black.
No, now it makes me question. No, but it makes me question.
Galaxy Defender.
It makes me question our government, and because it makes me question our government. It makes me think they have shit in place for this already.
Or
They have to.
To the government thing. What if that
If not, this would be a big deal.
to the movie of Jupiter Ascending? What if that might be an element of what's going on? The Earth is really just a farm. And
Yeah,
we are the cattle.
But who are the shepherders? The shepherds.
Obviously, whoever's in charge.
That's what I'm saying. But even amongst the cows, the cattle, us, we would have to. The higher up cattle, the higher up cattle.
There's a sheep dog.
There would have to be a point where they panicked because our government is. Look, if aliens exist for real, our government, the first time they really found out, they panicked. Why? Because it's the thing to do, Gene. It's fucking aliens. And the fact that they're just like casually like, oh yeah, you know.
I agree they would panic, but do you think it'd be a public panic or a private panic?
No, it'd be a private panic,
yeah.
but there'd be enough ripples. The ripples from Roswell are still here.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so like this just being news on, I remember the first time Anderson Cooper announced it, the first, the Navy that they said, yeah, UFOs and all this shit exists. He ended it, he was like, okay, I guess I'll go to the next topic. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, y'all didn't hear me just say that
like, y'all just heard me say aliens, and now I'm finna, y'all, no commercial, no, I'm just gonna go to the next topic. And I seen it in him, like, okay, I guess I should just fall in line. And why is that? Why is it that that's the feeling? We can talk about this and then continue. Why? It's not normal.
They're trying to normalize it, though.
Exactly.
No, I completely
and
agree.
I refuse. I will always panic when we talk about this because somebody has to do it.
I don't even know if that's the right reaction or not.
Nope. But I'm going to pick this one. And I'm going to stick to it.
Because we don't know if they're coming to be peaceful or if they're coming for...
Yeah, so we should panic. We should invent as much shit as we can out of panic. 100%. I'm 100%. They say panic can never help. Oh, they have never dealt with aliens.
John, but you're
Panic.
that guy in the Godzilla movies that's like, we got to kill him.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of him.
Get him out of here. We got to get him out of here. Because at any given moment...
This is debatable. We're actually talking about this. We're not actually doing something, and that something is not killing it.
Is there a way we can put a force field around Earth?
No.
That's what we need to be working on. That's the type of panic I want to hear from my government.
Laser shield up.
That's
might
what
be it,
Elon
man.
Musk
They
needs
might
to
just
be in
be
charge
like-
of.
What are you saying, Doc?
I think there might be like higher ups like who are like, all right, we know they exist. We know if we make these moves, we're fucked.
Exactly.
So we're gonna make these small moves that they hopefully don't see.
Somebody.
They
What I'm saying-
hopefully don't see.
What I'm saying is, we have the U.S. government has a contingency plan for a zombie apocalypse. That is a fact. What I just told you. That is a fact. So you think?
They don't have a contingency plan for aliens?
There's people whose whole job it is to deal with
the problem
this.
is an alien apocalypse is more plausible when it comes to making a plan for and actually preventing or fighting against. Aliens, like...
That's what I said.
It
There's somebody with a
depends on, like, the
job.
alien.
Yeah, it
There's somebody with a
depends.
job.
Are they
who's-
carbon-based like us?
See, Gene, I'm telling you, we have somebody who's getting paid for this shit. We have somebody. If somebody can get paid to make a plan for zombies, there's somebody getting paid. Maybe he's the fucking dude releasing the footage
Because
to keep his job going.
I forgot what
don't
it's
know.
called, but they referenced if an alien invasion and it was hostile actually decided to go against
is
Earth. I
over,
forgot what the
first off.
theory. I forgot what the actual theory, like the strategy, would be called. But they referenced it in a movie. I forgot what the movie is called. Also, but there's different waves.
Mm-hmm.
The first wave would be some kind of electromagnetic pulse, like they completely wipe out
Our
our
power.
technology
Mhm.
and our power, like take us immediately back to the Stone Ages kind of thing. And the second wave, they would manipulate our weather, cause a bunch of natural disasters, tornadoes, tsunamis, hurricanes, just wipe us out that way. And then the third wave is some level of, the term that comes to mind is like guerrilla warfare, whereas they send like mini soldiers to cause panic amongst the people that survived, and then they trick the kids pretty much kind of thing, like to kill, like they pretty much trick us to kill each other. And then once we've dwindled our numbers down, then they're like, okay, now we're coming down.
The coolest.
But all that
And
was...
you know what's funny about everything he just said? A human thought of it, and compared to an alien that might be stupid because they could just do it all in one fucking goddamn snap of a finger.
Well,
Like,
the question is what the point? Because I'm assuming if they're coming to Earth, is it for us or is it for the resources on the Earth?
You
don't
would
know.
have to,
What's-
yeah. You
that's
wouldn't
why we
really
should
know.
panic.
And then those waves are if the goal is for some kind of resource on Earth, the best way to
take us out.
The best way to take us out without destroying the resources.
Yeah.
Apparently,
that's the best
allegedly,
way
those
we can
waves.
think of.
Fair.
That's my problem.
Well, the
Panic.
coolest way I've ever heard was in this one book. So what they do is they essentially unfold a proton, not a proton. They unfold an electron, and then they expand it through dimensions. So essentially, if you take an electron, you unfold it, and then you take it from the third dimension to the fourth and the fifth. You make it bigger, and then once you make it bigger, you can put a motherboard onto it, and then you can recollapse it, and then you have a fucking electron that does whatever you tell it to do. And so what they do is they take those electrons, they fire them at the Earth, and then when human scientists are running, basically the giant gravitational thing that we have, that giant like cylinder, you know what I'm talking about?
Scope?
The graviton, or I can't remember what it's called, but essentially like we shoot electrons in it as fast as possible, and we try to get readouts and try to get closer to breaking the speed of light, so we can develop space travel. So they essentially send those electrons, and those electrons fuck with our readouts so that we never get physics that makes sense, and they essentially lock us at our current state in technology, and then they just fucking start sailing towards us because they know that they're already so far advanced, and we'll never be able to get past that because we'll never get proper information and proper data to actually grow technologically. So they just like show up.
And then you
And
know
they're
what
just
that
like-
becomes? You know
they're
what that
just, like,
becomes?
completely fucking disabled,
You know what
bro.
that becomes? Every civilization is basically based on how much technology can you amass before you get found by another.
Yeah, that's kind of actually part of the book too, because when they go to like ship to planet, they're like, all right, it's gonna take 2,000 years to get there. In 2,000 years, they'll be ready. So we lock them down now. And when we get there, we just fucking walk in and we take it. And I was like, that's kind of a cool way to do it. I'm not gonna lie though, like just lock them
Clever.
down. Yeah.
Maniacal too.
Depending on what these aliens do when they touch down, I'm not above giving up my faith. Being dead ass right now.
Depending
Not
on what they
above
tell you.
Yeah, honestly speaking, because it's
I think
like,
that's the big problem for a lot of people though, because essentially, like, depending on what they tell other people, I mean, everything that you think you know could change.
oh, I'll stay alive. I need one deal. I will become one of y'all slave drivers.
This guy.
If you let us into the Vatican, I want to know what these motherfuckers was hiding. The alien shit is bigger. Yes, I agree. But just for me, as a small man, human guy,
at least reveal those books they got locked up.
y'all want to know some shit? Y'all want to know some shit? I'll read them to you.
Please.
Just teach me Latin first. I'm sure they can. Like, I'm sure communication. Like, I don't want to start. Anyway.
Yeah, let's move on. We went down a rabbit hole.
Speaking of aliens, Michael Jackson.
So Michael Jackson, innocent, trends on Twitter after judge tosses Wade Robinson's lawsuit.
So recently, we've spoken about it before, but Oprah put together a documentary called Neverland, which basically calls back accusers and tries to paint Michael Jackson as a pedophile again. And so they sued him again for the third time. Or in Michael Jackson's career, I think 1,700 and something time he's been sued by somebody.
That's crazy.
And once again, he was proven innocent. And now come to find out, the lawyers and stuff that had to go through so much fucking documents, paperwork, videos, people who interacted with him, they're actually coming out and saying Michael Jackson's flaw might have actually been he was just too humble. Like, yeah, he was a child or immature, I guess you could call that. But, like, he meant everything he said. It's just that we couldn't accept that he meant what he said. When he's just like, oh, no, I just like reading books and kicking it with my friends. Da, 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 da. I just like monkeys, you know. I like kids because kids are more honest and true. Da, da, da. And we're looking at it like, oh, you fucking weirdo. Da, 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 da. But he was just a guy who never really grew up around that type of shit. And he really was just a kid. He
never
meant
got
what
the
he...
chance to grow up. He was a child star. He was constantly in front of the camera, constantly performing. Like, I would argue that kind of stunts you in a way.
Even his vitiligo. Everybody said he bleached himself. Then after he dies, can you imagine part of the autopsy report is finding out if this nigga had vitiligo? Like, that's something they have to, like, that's not something that needs to show up on any autopsy. But for some reason, that was important information for us to have. Guess what? He had it.
Man, I remember the vitiligo tripped me out so much because as a little kid, I saw Michael in his later life, and so I was like, oh, he's a white guy. And then I remember my mom showed me the Jackson 5, and I was just like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then, like, she couldn't explain the virus or the disease to me at the time, so I didn't understand it. And to me, like, I was just perplexed. And I think I saw, like, a VH1, like, behind the music thing, and I was like, oh, that's what happened.
I actually don't know what vitiligo is. Can you explain it to me real quick?
You lose the pigments in your skin.
Oh, so he didn't bleach his skin. He had an actual...
He actually had a disease.
Interesting.
So, like, what way have we not shit on this man and been proven wrong? And then for him to still be so after death, you're still trying. These guys are all 30-something years old trying to sue his estate. And what? 1,000+ lawsuits. Could somebody go to court that much?
I would assume if you have the finances to do it, yeah.
Not once.
It just reminds me of Dave Chappelle's joke where he's just like, man, the man's been dead for 10 years and he just got 4 new cases.
He's got 4 new cases beyond the grave. And, man, those lawyers, when the lawyers were speaking on him, man, that shit was hard to hear.
Yeah, and you pulled up this fact check. Fact check, was Michael Jackson absolved of Wade Robinson molestation accusations? And it says, a California court on Monday ruled that the estate companies of the late Michael Jackson had no obligation to protect the alleged victims of child abuse from the late singer and dismissed a long-running lawsuit against the Jackson estate.
Is that the one from the movie? I actually never saw the movie.
The Neverland documentary?
Yeah. Yep. I've never saw it either.
The one that's just literally...
I actually don't know much about, like, his accusations. Did any of them actually...
Never.
Make sense or something?
No. Like, did he actually get found guilty for any of them?
Never. 1,000 lawsuits. Not one. And he fought every single one.
Huh.
Never paid out a dime. Now, could you imagine, and this is what I tell people, because this is one of my biggest mental, like, not fears, but conversationally, I would hate to gang up on somebody or be super judgmental of somebody and then find out I was wrong in judging them. That for some reason, that's something that really sticks with me personally. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, this really bothers me because it's like, could you imagine somebody actually just being a good dude? And this is like, every person that sued him, he tried to help. And they sued him because of it. That was what gave them the leeway to sue him. And now you're telling these kids you're being molested their whole life.
Well, actually, that's actually a point you bring up. I'm curious, like, at the time were the kids actually being molested, or because of the situation, parents telling them
Kids were saying they weren't touched.
that was molestation.
I'm telling you.
Like, at what point is it actual kids' experience or a manipulation of the experience by the parents assuming what happened because they're adults and kids don't know what's going on?
Do you think if...
Which, I mean, I kind of understand,
me
though,
too.
like, honestly, but still, like...
It's like... But then also, if you understand... So, my question is, you believe in Michael Jackson enough, you believe in his childish wonderment and how he acts publicly, right? Enough to the point where you would send your kid to Neverland Ranch. You believe he's that fun guy and all that stuff enough for
That's
you to
just bad
send.
parenting.
You get what I'm saying?
At that point.
But then, his actual defense against your molestation charges is the guy who I presented to you guys is me. The reason you sent your kids here, that is exactly who I am. And then it's impossible. You have to want something from the kids. But you weren't thinking that when you sent the kids.
Why now?
Why now? His defense never changed. It's me. I'm a kid. I like to do kid shit, but I'm rich. I can behave this way.
Like, and that goes back to my point I said earlier. Like, he was a child star. Like, what makes you think
An
he wasn't
abused
stuck in that
child star.
Yeah, what makes he wasn't stuck in that mentality for forever? Like, imagine being that young and that famous and that wealthy, and then on top of the abuse he received from, as we know,
from his dad.
Yeah. And now we prefaced in the beginning of this podcast the mental illness thing. Like, how do we?
Crazy. Of course, he had a mental illness.
I agree. I think, yeah.
Of course, and these kids also. I think they have mental illnesses now, brought on by their parents.
Yeah, I think the parents had to have been present when they were at Neverland Ranch, and also the sleepover stuff.
When I saw how many times he was sued, I was like, man, that's wild. That's wild. And to innocent every time, nigga, I don't know innocent people who would beat it every time. But he said, okay, cool, don't worry, I got money and time for all of y'all.
Yeah, he definitely had money.
Yeah, he owns the Beatles catalog.
Oh, wait, it actually says false. While Young's ruling effectively, is that double effectively? While Young's ruling effectively brought down the curtain on Robinson's lawsuit.
Yeah, it's a typo.
Although appeals are still possible, it did not directly rule on the allegations contained in the lawsuit. Young determined that Robinson couldn't hold the Jackson estate legally responsible for the alleged sexual abuse, but did not rule on whether the allegations were true.
Oh, because he already beat this case. This was them suing the estate for money for mental and
damages, no
damage. Yeah, my life. Fuck ass niggas. I swear to God, I seen one of them niggas. I beat their ass, and I'll say that's for Michael.
That's for Michael. Little Mike,
man. So the courts have dismissed the case before they have a friendly reminder that.
All right, let's almost an hour. Let's talk about something that won't go too deep. Let's talk about Joe Rogan real quick. I feel like that's a pretty short discussion. So Joe Rogan's under fire again. He had a...
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go for it.
If you accusing somebody of raping you and molesting you, ain't no more anonymous. We got to get rid of that. Because that most of his lawsuits...
I mean, I understand why you want to be anonymous, but if you want your accusation to hold more weight...
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it, the fear and all that stuff, like, I get it, but, like, if you want people to take you seriously, and I don't mean that to sound as fucked up as it does, you gotta show your face.
Put your chest behind it.
Yeah, you gotta put yep, exactly. You have to.
Slander, bro. That's all it is. Destroy a person from fucking shadows, bro.
Speaking of slander.
Yeah, all right. Speaking of slander. So, like I was saying, Joe Rogan's under fire again because on one of his recent podcasts, he shared an opinion about the vaccine. And now you got headlines and news networks trying to say Joe Rogan is accused of spreading anti-vaccine misinformation. So pretty much what we're first going to do is actually watch and listen to what Joe Rogan says and then pretty much agree or disagree. Can you hear the footage a little bit, Doc, when I was playing it?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, perfect.
And people say, do you think it's safe to get vaccinated? I've said, yeah, I think for the most part it's safe to get vaccinated. I do. But if you're like 21 years old and you say to me, should I get vaccinated? I go, no. Yeah. Are you healthy?
Are you a healthy person? Like, look, don't do anything stupid, but you should take care of yourself. You should, if you're a healthy person and you're exercising all the time and you're young and you're eating well, like, I don't think you need to worry about this.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
But there's a lot of jobs that will tell you you need to have this.
Well, that's what's starting to happen now.
People are worried about them doing it for their children. And we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
That you might have to have your children vaccinated. And, you know, I can tell you as someone who's both my children got the virus, it was nothing. I mean, I hate to say that. If someone's children died from this, I'm very sorry that happened. I'm not in any way diminishing that. But I'm saying the personal experience that my children had with COVID was nothing. One of the kids had a headache. The other one didn't feel good for a couple days.
Yeah.
Like, maybe, I mean, not feel good, like no big deal. No coughing,
Right.
no achy, no, like, in agony. There was none of that. It was very mild. It was akin to them getting a cold.
Yeah, and you can have this thing where it's like you were saying, this virtue signaling and this kind of like theatrical display of I get the vaccine, what a good person I am, I care about everyone. But you're like, look, my daughter's a lot younger than your kids, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not injecting my daughter with something to fucking virtue signal. Like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
If there's something that she's of no risk, statistically has no risk from, I'm sorry, I'm not taking any experiment on her in that, and that's my attitude.
But it's
toward it.
amazing that that's controversial.
Yeah.
But even saying that, I'm not going to inject my child with the vaccine is controversial.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Because, again, we are not talking about even the flu that we just found out killed 22,000 people last year. We're not talking about that.
Right.
We're talking about something that is not statistically dangerous for children. But yet people still want you to get your child vaccinated, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, you should be vaccinated if you are vulnerable.
All right, and that was the clip. So I don't think he was spreading misinformation. I really think they're blowing this out of proportion to get clicks, like clout. Like, this is the toxicity that we're seeing, the continued toxicity of news networks, in my opinion. As my shirt clearly says right here, defund the media. Like,
Where'd you get that?
my parents.
Yeah, the media's a little dangerous with it. But even the media itself is like, they've already turned tables. Like, now they're talking about like people dying from the vaccine. It's just like, what? Like, you were just talking about us getting to it. Now you're telling us about people dying from it. Because obviously they're just trying to generate ratings. You know what I mean? And so to us, it looks chaotic. And to them, they're just like, we got to keep those numbers up. But to us, it's just like, this side of the world's on fire. Now that side of the world's on fire. Now you're on fire. Everyone's on fire. It's just like, dude, what the hell?
But he didn't really say anything wrong either. That's why I guess I'm like, if y'all see it, help me here then. I really don't see where the misinformation is.
He told...
Because he really wasn't giving any...
He didn't misinform anything. The only thing that I don't care, obviously, but the only thing that I could catch was I would tell them not to worry about it. And just be... I get his sense...
You got to preface too when he said that, like, if you're healthy,
no,
if you work every, like
yeah,
he said,
still with that,
we shouldn't worry about
those people should still. It's him using the word not worry. It's him using the words not worry about it and even though we get what he was saying, he wasn't saying literally. He's still saying take precaution. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're 20, you're young, you're fit, you're da-da-da-da-da, still take certain precautions, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be out there licking toilet seats and shit like that.
He didn't tell anyone not to get it.
He said don't. Well, he said I wouldn't worry about it.
He said if you asked me, should I get this or whatever,
I would tell you I wouldn't worry about it.
I would tell you I don't want to worry about it.
Yeah, but that's his opinion, which he's allowed to have on his podcast.
Exactly.
He didn't tell it. He didn't say it was fact or fiction. He said that's my opinion.
We'll compare him to Alex Jones when he came out on Andrew Souls, who straight up said that it causes cancer.
Are you trying to talk about Alex Jones? Man, this man is dramatic.
That's misinformation. Where it's just like, it causes cancer, bro. I mean,
some of the shit he says actually turns out to be true, dog. You'd be surprised. Don't get me wrong. He says some outlandish things.
You know the craziest shit? The craziest shit that you just said?
Go for it.
Alex Jones is white Dr. Umar.
White Dr. Umar. I don't think I know.
You know who Dr. Umar is? The guy who I told you we make fun of, the black community makes fun of because he's always super black. He blamed the Nigerian wind spirit.
No, I don't think I
in the park for dropping his phone. Yeah, the one who said Kobe was killed in a conspiracy and da 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 da. He's the black guy that's always on Twitter. If you type in Dr. Umar, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. We've had a conversation about him
Yeah,
before.
I'm gonna look this
But he was on the Breakfast Club recently, right?
UMAR.
Mm-hmm. He was on the Breakfast Club recently, right?
Is that him
Yeah.
right there?
Dude, he
That's
kind of
him?
looks like
the
the
super
black Alex
afro.
Jones.
He's super afro. He's super afro. He's always taking donations. That's his catchphrase. Like,
Gotcha.
But this man will say, this man has been on Oprah's show before. This man will say 30 seconds of something that is so completely true.
Then sprinkle some bullshit on it.
And then it's all bullshit. And then 30, the sprinkle is the truth. But that sprinkle will have people eating it up.
Gotcha,
Eating it
okay.
up. And that's what Alex Jones is. Like, Alex
I
Jones.
don't watch Alex Jones. The only time I've seen Alex Jones is when he went on
Alex
Temple
Jones has
and
been
Joe Rogan.
undercover in private communities.
Yeah.
In establishments he probably shouldn't have been at. He's
Yeah.
not lying about those things. He was there. He
went to one of the elites like little ritual things they
literally
Yeah,
said,
he
like,
actually
documented it. And I'm telling you. So
some crazy stuff, y'all.
but then it's like, at what point are they just feeding him bullshit to drive him crazy?
He confronted one of those guys, and you could tell like it's not bullshit.
It's not
like,
bullshit.
he
No, what I'm
was-
saying.
He was pissed.
But then, like, what if one of those guys like, yeah, and
You
we
weren't
drink,
invited to
no,
this.
no,
Why did you
yeah,
record?
and we're drinking baby blood. You caught us.
See,
Just so that way
that's-
he goes out and says,
But that's my problem with Alex Jones, and that's why I appreciate when he was on Tim Pool's, because when he says things, he tends to go on like these weird rants. Like I guess to the example you said with Dr. Umar, like he goes on these rants and sprinkles the truth, and the truth gets clouded by his little like dramatic storytelling. That's why when
I
he
feel
was
like
on
that's
Tim
what
Pool-
Joe Rogan tried to reveal when he was.
Oh, he was trying, but he just wasn't that successful because like.
Well,
Alex
'cause he
Jones-
needs to
he's-
fact
Al-
check-
You
well,
can't control Alex Jones. He's
Like,
just
that's
out
the whole
there.
point, though. Like people buy into the sprinkles, and they're like, "No, dude, like you got to listen to it all because there's sprinkles of truth here and there." The only thing is, after a while, the sprinkles become subjective, and it's just like, what part of it is, and that's what makes him dangerous. Where it's just like, what at what point starts turning into sprinkles and what isn't. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
people
completely.
buy into all of it after a while,
Yeah.
and then eventually they just, they start saying stupid shit, and so they try to
think that-
suppress him in that sense.
That's the problem with everybody, from the independent news people and also the actual mainstream news people. You got to actually like, when you hear something that triggers something in you, be it, I don't know, like something as simple as anger or happiness or whatever, before you actually accept that, dude, go look it up just in case. Like, check, like, is he actually saying something? I don't know. I feel like our problem when it comes to people, when it comes to any kind of news, be it political or like even sports, like you gotta double check, cite your stuff. I don't know. Like that's why I want to use sports as an example, because when it comes to John is constantly, anytime someone expresses an opinion about something, he's already watched 4 different people talk about this and looked up 3 different other articles with the stats about it. Then he's like, okay, now that I've looked up everything and understand the
100%.
whole angle of it, now I'll actually accept this person's opinion or disagree with this person's opinion.
100%.
That's what I try to do. I'm not saying I'm good at it either, but that's what I try to do with politics. And I feel like people don't apply that level of
Skepticism.
not necessarily I do agree skepticism, but the word I'm trying to use is like vetting.
I'll put it like this. In sports, we have something useless called next level stats. And those are the stats that you can generate just by anything. The oldest player over 33 to make 10 3-pointers in a row on a Wednesday. That'd be a next level stat. Because I could use it, a statistic, to say anything, basically, and make somebody
Just
look
a
good or
necessary
bad.
stat to strengthen
It-
a necessary
an
argument.
Exactly. That's all of politics. You can make the facts look non-factual, and you can make the shit that's fake look real. So, like, that's why when it comes to sports, is easier for me because I know the categories I need to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
If it's basketball, it's points, rebounds, assists, PER. You know what I'm saying? Football is pretty similar. Whatever position you're playing, you need to do that position. Politics is not. It's way more fickle because we, honestly speaking, do we know what our politicians are supposed to do based on their job descriptions? Like, specifically? Like what the senator is
mean-
in charge of,
I mean,
what the
everyone-
governor is in charge of. Like
Well, in
what
that
the-
case, yes, but the problem
like
is,
we know book wise,
yeah,
but like, can we actually reference any of them doing their jobs that the book literally says they're supposed to do? It's weird.
and for my example would be AOC. She's in charge of whatever the district number is in New York, and what has she done for her district?
Well, it depends though, because I mean, people lean both ways in emotion and reason. And to some people who are
Yeah,
highly reasonable,
yeah.
they like seeing the stats. To some people that are highly emotional, they like feeling whatever it is that they feel they've accomplished. So it just depends on. People are complicated, and that's the hard part about it.
I think it all comes down. I don't know. I think it all comes down to balance. And I'm trying to find a better way to more accurately pinpoint what I mean by balance, because I feel like that's kind of vague. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like we're not balanced right now. Everyone's trying so hard to tip the scales in a right or left direction.
I could see that.
I can see that.
And it's like, no, it's what matters is the middle. I'm not trying to take away from what you believe or what you think or what you're reasoning. It's just with our reasoning and blah, 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 we got to try to take it to the middle. We can't be too far one way or the other, because then there's too many people that are going to be disaffected or unhappy on the other side. Whatever thinking, no matter what leaning you have, it's got to somehow come back to the center of it to have a balance. Otherwise, like, we're going to have what we're having now, a polarized everything.
Everything is fucking polarized, dude.
All right, any last points? We're already over an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love Dr. Umar, dog. I was reading
This-
tweet. Fuck that guy.
All right, on that note, I think that's enough fake deep
Look,
thinking.
look at this. Look at
Yeah,
this. Look at this.
I'll
Look at this.
go ahead
Look at
and
this meme
report
about Dr. Umar. Time to watch this Dr. Umar interview. Oh no, I
Yeah.
fucked up.
I'll report
here,
back to
scroll-
see if the
yeah.
vaccine has any adverse effects. I just got my first jab. I'll let you know if Joe Rogan was right or not.
Literally right after Doc got the shot, he actually gave me a call. Like, they told me I got to wait like 15 minutes if I like have
Yeah,
any kind
that
of
was
side
fun,
effects.
dude.
So just in case, bro, talk to me for like 15 minutes.
There's a part of the paper where it's just like, yo, you got to stay near us for 15 minutes to see if anything happens, and if it does, it's not our fault. And I was like, all right, cool. And I just
Hey.
like signed on it. And I called Gene. I was waiting in the car. I was like, man, something happens in 15 minutes, bro. Like, I need somebody to
It was
know.
the vaccine.
I was like, if you start feeling a craving for some brains, let me know.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys ever want to look up something interesting, you guys should type in Van Jones and look at what Black Twitter has to say about him. That's all. I won't say yay or nay. Just that's all.
Van Jones, look it up, guys. All right, I think that's enough fake deep thinking for today, guys. Make sure you go to our Twitter and follow our Twitter at
Crying-ass
Podcast
bitch.
FDT.
Lame ass nigga.
Go to our YouTube page, Fake Deep Thinking.
Always bitching about some shit.
Please leave a like, a
Lame
comment,
ass.
subscribe, and please share our content.
That nigga cried with the Chauvin case.
This guy.
Get
We'll
this
see y'all
shit
next
out.
time on Fake Deep Thinking.
Defund Van Jones.
Peace.